Hey guys, what's up? It's Pixelated-TEDAPO-LLOSVE. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you guys are doing a-okay, and I hope you guys are ready for another gritty, bloody medieval siege battle. This, of course, is Medieval Kingdoms Total War 1212 AD, and my goodness, look at these peasant archers run by and just destroy the stone wall with their feet. That is very, very impressive. Either that's a poorly made wall or the peasant bowmen have very, very strong feet. But anyways, in today's battle, I am commanding a faction that we have yet to see on my channel. It is a faction that is not very good, and that's probably why we haven't seen them yet. It is the Duchy of Silesia, and the reason they're not very good is because they have a very limited roster. They don't have any sorted infantry. They have very few amount of infantry troops, and most of the troops are spearmen. So yeah, it's gonna be a little tricky today. I am fighting with the TheRyanKing. I told him to pick the Duchy of Lithuania, or pick a faction that has good infantry, and Lithuania has great infantry. So we're gonna try to work together, and hopefully we can achieve victory with this lesser faction. Now, we are taking on the Teutonic Order, so we're gonna see a nice Teutonic versus Lithuanian matchup. And then way over here, we have the very, very powerful Hungarian army. So the Kingdom of Hungary is probably one of the best, if not the best, factions in the game. So it's gonna be a bloody fight today. So I hope you guys are ready. So let's go ahead and check out these army comps, and then we can get this battle started. We'll start with my beautiful Silesian boys. So I've got about 4 or 5 units of spear sergeants, and that's pretty much it for my infantry. I also have 2 units of the halberdiers, which are falling back over this way. So here they are. Pretty cool looking. You know, it's a standard halberdier model unit there. And then for the rest of my army, I have 2 units of catapults. I have about 4 or 5 units, I believe 4 units of crossbow sergeants. So I'm really going to rely on the deadly crossbows to slaughter the enemy elite infantry. And then I've got a lot of cav here, and cav is actually pretty good for Silesia. So I've got the Polish Knights, which this is my best cav, and then I have 2 units of the Silesian Knights, which look pretty cool. I like their like Holy Roman Empire kind of style they got. So fantastic. I believe that's my army. Here's my general. It's the Duke of Silesia. There he goes. Yep, you're going to fall back, go to more protective positions. Now, the thing about Attila, and just real quick before we move on to the other armies, the thing about Attila is that the choke points, or not the choke points, but the town centers, the capture points, are usually really easy to defend. There's only 3 choke points over here, and it's not fair to the attackers. So me and the TheRyanKing, we agreed that we would hold the outer walls just to make it more interesting and more fun. Now, of course, we're gonna fall back to this position if we feel like we have to use it to win the battle. It's not like we're gonna give it up and never fall back, but we're only gonna leave about 10% of our army up here during the entire battle. Let's move on to the TheRyanKing's army, the good old Lithuanian boys. Again, one of my favorite factions. He's got the Ruthian archers, pretty good archer unit. They have some shields on their backs so they can fight in melee decently. He's also got the peasant archers with the very strong feet. He has some noble swordsmen. Oh man, oh good old Lithuania here. Let me just slow down the camera a little bit so we can get a good view of these units. Then he's got the Moldavan warriors. I'm sorry, I'm slaughtering that one, but this is like a mercenary unit. Pretty cool. Not the greatest unit, but you know they're pretty solid. Here's more noble swordsmen. He's got the ducal axemen here, the big old axes. They're gonna, you know, not shatter, but split shields. There's a lot of S words there. It's screwing me up. And then over here, he's got his elite infantry. He's got the armored infantry, and he put a ton of chevrons on these boys, so they're going to do a lot of work. He also has a catapult, and he's also bringing some cav, which are currently outside of the fortress, going into the trees to hide. He's got some Lithuanian cav, which is a spear cav, but they also have lances, so they can do some pretty good charges. And then he has the boyars. So that's pretty much it for the TheRyanKing's army. Let's move on to the Teutonic Order. And we're going to go pretty fast here because their army is so nicely organized here. Prussian archers. So he's got a decent amount of Prussian archers. He's got the Teutonic sergeants, high period. So pretty solid. And then he's also got about 2 units of pikemen. So the good old Teutonic pikes, very deadly. He's bringing the Brothers of the Sword, so a good amount of this middle tier infantry. They're not bad, they're not great. And then he's got some Teutonic sergeants. He has more Prussian archers over here. He's bringing a couple units of spear sergeants, which looks really cool. He's got a catapult ready to knock down some of the walls. More Brothers of the Sword, some men-at-arms. Fantastic unit, they look very awesome. And he's got another unit over there. So that's pretty much it for the Teutonic Order. Of course, he has his general, which is the Grand Master's Guard, early period. Let's move on to the Hungarians, who are bringing 2 units of Pavi's crossbowmen that don't have the Pavi shield, which is interesting. Why are they called Pavis if they don't have the Pavi shield? And then he has some sergeants with early period, which we don't see too often when people play as Hungary. So I'm going to give a good view of these guys. They look pretty cool with the nice round shields, that green and red. And then he has sergeants high period, which look way more intimidating. And the art on the shields are that much more impressive. And he also has some Pavi spears, which can hold the line for so long. So, pretty fantastic army here. Some spear sergeants. He's got his Hungarian king back here. And I believe he has some guns as well. So, let's see. Where are those guns? I don't know. You'll see them. They might be in the trees or something. Oh, here's one of the gunners. I think he has one hand gunner. So, yeah. Pretty cool. Heavily armored. Well equipped. And then here's his catapult. So, let's go ahead and start this battle, guys. Alright guys, the battle is about to begin. The attackers are moving up their siege towers. Real quick, let me just show you our formations, our strategy over here. I've got my crossbows. We're reloading and letting loose some bolts into the enemy lines there. And we got a lot of fire arrows coming in from the siege towers. So our strategy here is to have some infantry. We want to put up a good defense. And by the way, he's firing his catapult, trying to bring down this wall over here to have a breach point. So our strategy here is to fall back. We're not actually going to hold the very outmost wall. We're going to fall back to these choke points. You can see there's a very nice ridge here we're going to use to put our archers up on that ridge. And then over here, the Teutonic Order is moving in. And we want to hold them back with a decent amount of troops. But at first, our strategy was not to win at the walls, but you'll see how things change very quickly in the heat of the moment, and the heat of the battle. So the siege tower is getting very close from the Teutonic side. The wall has crumbled to the Hungarian artillery, and now the men are taking the walls with very little resistance, and I'm falling back. Get out of there, men! There's too many of them. Fall back! So the TheRyanKing, he's moving back his peasant archers. I'm moving back my spear sergeants, and we're gonna fall back and go into defensive positions. We also have artillery coming in, burning the buildings. That's not very nice. That's where a lot of innocent people live. That was very mean of them. But I've got some crossbows up on this ridge as well. You can see the officer giving them orders, commanding them to fire at the invading forces. Let's move over to the other side of the fight because things are getting pretty serious over here. TheRyanKing's trying to get his archers out of there. He just barely gets them off the walls before the Teutonic Order gets in there and just slaughters them. Oh, is he charging them back in? No, get out of there, archers. You're crazy. I know you peasant archers can destroy stone walls, but this is a whole different beast. I'm bleeding. That's hilarious. But yeah, the Teutonic Order coming in. We're now going to send in our infantry. We're getting ready to, we're like slowly inching forward our cav, waiting for the perfect opportunity to storm over and get some kills without him paying attention. But here we go. We've got the warriors from TheRyanKing, sorry, I was about to say Jackyfish, holding back the Brothers of the Sword. And then we've got more infantry, I believe, going to this flank, ready to stop this invasion of men-at-arms. So he's got his armored infantry, the very elite armored infantry. Here comes more Teutonic Order crashing down our defenses. They're trying to take the gate, which is not good. Actually, they did take the gate. That is why the arrow towers here have been destroyed. Oh, what is that? Was that some gunners? I believe so. Where is that coming from? Are these gunners? Who has gunners? I don't know, but something blew up over here, and I'm not really sure what that was. But the fight continues on, and the brothers of the sword are still marching through this open area. It doesn't look like we're doing a great job of containing them, but the TheRyanKing, he is sending more and more infantry to hold back this invasion. We got the men-at-arms trying to take this flank. We've got, what is this? More men-at-arms. He has so many men-at-arms about to charge the backs of these axemen. Let's move over to the other side of the battle because this is getting pretty intense. So as you can tell, we have fallen back to this more defensive position. The TheRyanKing has sent forward some skirmishers here, noble swordsmen who have skirmish capabilities. He's going to go ahead and charge in his infantry, but he is just getting melted from archers. Oh, yes. Some friendly fire there, but that's okay. My spears are going to hold. Oh, jeez. Rest in peace. And there we go. He's breaking from the fight. And the rest of the Hungarian army is just forming up over here. And then on this flank, we are also holding with spearmen. In spears, you know, don't get me wrong. Spears are really, really good in certain situations. They can form a shield wall, and they can hold for a very long time. So that's what they're doing over here. So my brave spearman against his Hungarian spear sergeants. And he's now charging in more infantry. He's got his elite sergeants charging into my spears. Looks like he's like doing cycle charges with. Oh no, he's just repositioning them, trying to break through the flanks, trying to overwhelm my spearmen. But the TheRyanKing, he's got his infantry close behind. They've used up their ammo, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna see them charge in to support my spears here any second now. Let's see, come on, charge in there. Charge in there. Oh, but hold the phone, guys. Hold the phone. We do have some cav charging over this way. We felt like this was a good time to strike because the Teutonic Order was so focused on taking those walls. He is not paying attention to his very vulnerable units that are not protected. So here we go. Silesian Knights seeking revenge on the archers. These are the Prussian archers too. Oh, yes. Very brutal charge. Here comes more infantry in the background there coming in, seeking for revenge, ready to just trample the enemy forces here. And here comes my Polish knights as well. So the Teutonic Order, they're pretty upset about that, so they're now sending in some pikemen. They are not using their pikes. Oh, there we go. He switched to pike formations. That was a pretty good maneuver right there, but I'm going to go ahead and, you know, not stay in that situation. I'm going to pull out of there because obviously I don't want to fight pikemen. And he's sending more and more spears into this fight, so I'm going to try to maneuver my Polish knights out of here. And we're just going to spread around, cause havoc, and just go for very, very vulnerable targets like his handgunners over here and his Prussian archers. By the way, up on these walls, let's actually do some slow motion here so I don't want to miss any like epic cav charges. But the infantry are doing a very good job. My spearmen, look at this. This is one unit of spearmen holding back the brothers of the sword. Fantastic. Good job to my spears. I was actually really impressed by how well my spears performed in this battle. And then, of course, we have the TheRyanKing's forces doing a great job of containing these outer flanks from the Teutonic Order. So let's head back over to this this fight because I believe things are going to get pretty spicy over here. So let's go back to normal speed. And let's see. Yep, I'm going to go for some Livonian auxiliary. Oh, his gunners are firing, though. So he did get a good flanking fire into my cav. It doesn't look like they got too many kills, like maybe one or two cav forces there. But that was a really good charge into that crossbow unit. But I need to quickly silence those guns because they are dropping my Silesian Knights. And then, oh, there we go. There we go. Nice supporting charge there from the cav. And here we go. More and more cav charges into the Prussian archers, into the crossbows, and the gunners. So they are losing lots and lots of units here, which is not good for them. And now my Polish knights are going to go for the head of the snake, of the serpent. They're going to take out the general, which the general is right here. He's freaking out. He's like, come on, guys, contain this cav. The men who are fighting up on the walls, they can see down below that their army is getting trampled from the Silesian cav, and they are losing heart. I also did a counter charge here with my cav on the backs of the brothers of the sword with my cav. I already said that. All right, let's move over to this side of the fight again because this is where some pretty intense stuff is going on. So we have the TheRyanKing's men holding them back now. My spearmen unfortunately died holding back the initial charge. But I do have more spearmen waiting in reserve. So We're just trying to use as few troops as possible. And check this out, guys. We're still holding over here. This is the same unit, and they've only lost about 11 men. That is crazy. That is crazy. Spearmen, I mean, they're only fighting enemy spears, but still, that's really impressive. And then, of course, I've got my crossbows up here, still firing down on enemy forces. So let's see what's going on here. It looks like I'm gonna commit my spearmen into the fight now. There we go. Support those Lithuanian soldiers. I really want to form a shield wall though, because it gives me a huge advantage. So see, I'm falling back. Oh, yeah. He's gonna charge in now. Unfortunately, I was not able to form shield wall. And we got a pretty intense close quarter battle going on this side. So let's turn back on the HUD and see what's going on. The Lithuanians are breaking. It was too much for them. We had archers in the back, artillery firing down on them, and my spear wall was able to hold them back. And of course, the general being harassed over here. What is going on? What is this? They're like falling. They like slide down. That is hilarious. So they're trying to escape. They're trying to save their own skin. The general is stuck in a heated melee against our cav. And now we have the Boyars, the Lithuanian cav, joining the fun. There we go. It's getting a little choppy here, guys. Got some intense stuff going on. A lot of units on the battlefield, but that's how I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. And there we go, guys. The enemy general is dead, and the Teutonic Order is crumbling. Very, very, very good start. And like I said, this was not our plan to defeat the Teutonic Order like this. We thought that we were going to have to fall back, but we were just really impressed by the performance of the spearmen and the Lithuanian infantry. Now, we do have to send more infantry over on this side. We've got some noble swordsmen, TheRyanKing, sending in more reserves. Our troops over here are starting to crumble to the size of the Hungarian army. So he's got his sergeants here really blobbed up. And oh my goodness, that was a beautiful shot. Here comes more artillery coming in. Death from above. Oh, not as good as a shot, but I'm still getting. Oh wow, wow, that was pretty brutal. So yeah, we just burnt a big hole in his army, and now the Lithuanian infantry is going to charge in and engage a very hurt unit of sergeants. Yeah, that was a crazy artillery shot. Absolutely game changing. And there we go, more and more shots coming in. So we can just see a bunch of Hungarians burnt to a crisp on the battlefield. So that's why you got to be careful. Try not to group up your forces too much. But the good news is that we're able to send back the forces that were defending on this side against the Teutonic Order. He still has a couple units of infantry, but it's not really a big threat. Not whatsoever is what I'm trying to say. Not a big threat at all. Oh my god. But more artillery coming down here. And oh geez. Okay. We are getting some friendly fire, but it's so worth it. I mean, look at this. 4 units of very elite sergeants are breaking from the battlefield. The balance of power is now halfway. Before, it was in their favor. So we are turning this battle around, but we still have a lot of work to do. Remember, guys, this army here is the Kingdom of Hungary. They are very, very good. So, I mean, we got to do everything we can, and that artillery fire is a good start. Oh, nice. Now I'm going for his archers back here. Going for the Pavi's crossbow and the handgunners. So, yep, he's moving up his archers here. And I'm going to go... I see, I've got my Polish knights over here. And I'm just waiting for an opportunity to charge through that gate and to just get a really, like, good charge on his archers. But he's really blobbing up his forces here. And this is just... This is a great example of how deadly artillery can be in a siege battle. This is why you should always bring artillery, whether you're defending or attacking. I've got more spearmen joining this fight over here. And we are actually pushing them back. Pushing them back. With the help of the artillery and the infantry having a very successful fight at that choke point, we're going to be able to chase down the Hungarians. But the Hungarians, they still have a lot of spearmen. They have artillery themselves, so they're going to try to do some damage. There we go. There's the fiery balls of death. And look at this over here. My spears are still holding. And they're taking on, what is this, halberdiers? they're taking on halberdiers, and they are still in this fight. So yeah, he's ready to break through this flank. He's had enough. But look at this over on this side. We got infantry charging in. So this is a very big, epic brawl here. So let's just slow down the camera a bit. Really just, you know, flow over this fight. Man, I love it. This mod is just so much fun. This was actually TheRyanKing's like first time playing an online battle on this mod. And he was like, man, this is amazing. Why am I not playing this more? So, yeah, definitely try it out, guys. If you haven't, it's really, really fun. The only bad thing about this... Oh, and here comes my Polish Knights, by the way. I charged them in. It looks like a lot of them got slaughtered over there. I don't know what happened. But yeah, there goes my Polish Knights. They are dead. But they were trying to support the infantry on this side. And that was a little careless there from us to just give up that choke point and to charge into a big blob of infantry, because now they can outflank us, they can outnumber us, and we should probably fall back from that situation. Also, my spearmen that have been holding this entire time, they're getting tired. They're getting really tired. I don't know if they can hold much longer. They're shaken, they're exhausted, and the halberdiers are just doing lots and lots of damage to them. So I can see them breaking here pretty soon. They're going pretty strong though. You know, they still have a lot of fight in them. Oh man, the only issue that I have with Attila is, well, I have two issues with Attila. One is that the Warscape engine sucks, and it's so poorly optimized. Like, it's so laggy whenever there's tons of troops on the battlefield. But we can see the TheRyanKing's archers up here, up on this ridge, doing a pretty good amount of damage against that huge blob of Hungarians. So that's good to see. And you can just see all of the dead over here that were very brutally fighting. Here comes more artillery coming in. So now that a lot of our infantry is dead, we're going to try to take out this Hungarian force with lots of fireballs of justice. That's funny. You know, obviously I say that all the time, like, oh, whatever of justice. And someone left a comment like, oh, I hate when he says that. I'm like, man, you should probably not watch, because every video has something of justice. That's just how it is. Oh, here comes more artillery coming in. I believe this is still my artillery. Seeing a really good opportunity. He's firing back his artillery. He's going to charge in here and try to take out this position. We do have more infantry. I've actually got my halberdiers ready to hold this position. So this is my very few amount of infantry I have left. So we are running low on infantry, and here comes the Hungarians. Unfortunately, my halberdiers were not in a solid position. They were not well prepared for that Hungarian charge. So they're going to take some pretty big casualties on this side. And oh geez, here comes the Hungarian king. He's actually charging into his own troops, the back of his own troops. My spearmen are wavering, so that is not good. But man, they served their duchies well today. They fought for their people, and even if they break, I will honor them this day for that fantastic hold. Holding back so many troops for so long. All right, so let's kind of speed up the camera here so I can move around a little bit quicker. So this is a bird's eye view of the situation. And the music's getting pretty intense over here. The Kingdom of Hungary, they still have a ton of forces. And now look at this. The king is running down my crossbows. That was a very tragic sight indeed. I was very upset about that. I wasn't very upset, but I was like, oh man, that's too bad. Like, that sucks. But yeah, they're going to slaughter my crossbow unit. And now we have a really big issue on our hands. We've got a really huge flank over here. The TheRyanKing is going to maneuver down his armored infantry to protect this flank. Also, I have some crossbows kind of looking over on this side of the battlefield. They haven't really... I don't even think these guys have used a single dart yet. So, or bolt, excuse me. So, I'm going to maneuver them over to this side because obviously this is where most of the fighting is going to take place. But, oh my god, it gets so laggy over here. I'm so sorry about this. But I got 2 units of halberdiers now holding back the Pavi spearmen. Oh, jeez. Oh, look at this duel right here. Oh, they stopped. Artillery still coming in. I mean, this has to really be rough for the Kingdom of Hungary. Stabby, stabby. Work as a unit. Remember your training. Lots of arrows coming in from the TheRyanKing's archer unit. Got artillery focusing down. I believe, yes, his crossbows over here. Honestly, his crossbows is what was scaring me the most, because crossbows can really rack up a ton of kills. So yeah, we're focusing down our artillery on this unit just so we can really weaken his crossbow ability. And look at this. Look at the officer. He's in the back line. He's like, come on, man. Form up. Form up. He's just like making sure everyone's fighting properly. That is really cool. I just wish it wasn't so laggy. My goodness. There you go. He's finally going to settle down. And is he falling back? I believe so. I think he's falling back his Pavi's shields here. Oh, what is this? Some spear sergeants joining the front line. So this is just a thick line of humans, steel, shields, and weapons. Very tough line to break through. Okay, so this is where things get really interesting. This is where the Hungarians are pushing forward their halberdiers. And halberds are very, very scary. He has pushed forward a couple of spearmen, but the armored infantry should be able to take care of these guys pretty well. They should break here pretty soon. Also, my crossbows, you can kind of see them up over there. You can see their heads. They're firing down. That looks so cool. So medieval. So yeah, they're getting some pretty solid kills on those spears. Stand and fight. Stand and fight. But if we look at that balance of power, look at that. It's slowly shifting back in favor of the Hungarians. I mean, we are running low on infantry. This is it for my infantry. This blob right here. The rest of my army is pretty much crossbows. So I got to be careful with my infantry. I can't be too aggressive. I got to make sure these units last throughout the battle. But these Pavi's shields, or Pavi's spears, are doing a good job of killing our men. And of course, his crossbows over here are getting some kills as well. I believe they're firing at the troops that are on the ridge over here. So we do have a lot of skirmishers over here. I've got my crossbows over on this side firing, trying to fire back. Oh, we got the javies. Look at the skirmishers here. That is so cool. Throwing their nice javies into the shields of the Pavis here. Looks like the frame rateage is getting a little bit better. And this is where things get really cool, guys. This is a pretty cool tactic. Whenever you're taking on halberdiers, you should probably not face them head on. I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? I mean, they're very nasty taking them on head on, unless you have halberdiers to counter his halberdiers. So a good way to fight them is with crossbows. So what I'm going to do here is move up my crossbows and get them in range and just fire at his stationary halberdiers, and hopefully that will get him marching towards us and then closer to the crossbow support that can continue to fire down on whatever they send near this road. But let's head back over to this side. I will keep my eye out for that crossbow maneuver so we don't miss it. So, I mean, there's really not a lot going on here. Just two units that are really good at holding the line. They're just both holding the line. So it's not like it's super intense. I mean, honestly, this is more of an archer battle than an infantry battle. Got lots of skirmishers up here, trying to do some heavy damage. Alright, let's see if my crossbows are now in position. Yes, they are. Here they go. They're about to fire. I believe they've already been firing. So very nice. You can see the blood on the ground. So we're taking out these halberdiers pretty effectively. So let's watch another volley here. You can see my crossbows from afar. They're ready to let loose. I am using heavy shot, so they can penetrate that armor. It just takes them a little bit longer to fire. And I was really surprised why the Hungarian player was doing this. Why was he just not charging forward? Why lose a single man from my crossbows and just stand here. So I think he maybe he was busy fighting on other parts of the battlefield, but this is a, oh! That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. The rate of fire is not very fast, but every time I let loose some bolts, I get some kills. And the halberdiers here are looking weaker and weaker after every volley. And finally, he's marching them forward. And look how cool this is. Look at these guys march. I love the halberdiers. Look at this. See, he should be running, though. He needs to get out of phalanx formation and run to that front line. Alright, so let's see the battlefield here. The fight is still going on over here. My halberdiers are doing a great job. Still have a pretty healthy amount of troops. And the Pavi spearmen are getting pretty depleted. Our archers are using up most of the ammo. It looks like the TheRyanKing skirmishers are wavering. They just can't handle the suppressing fire from the Hungarian Pavi's crossbowmen. So, yeah, both parties here really taking a lot of damage, a lot of casualties from, from like archer fire and crossbow fire. Oh, jeez. You see that? You see that? God, it's just so brutal seeing crossbows come in. Seeing the bolts come in. Alright, so here we go. Finally, he is now running his halberdiers. But look at this, guys. He is at half health. And he's about to charge into some armored infantry. If we look, I still have my crossbows up here supporting the Lithuanian infantry. And look at that. They are just getting evaporated. Absolutely wiped out. And they are wavering. They are already wavering because of the amount of casualties. And now the TheRyanKing, he's going to charge in and engage these guys. More and more bolts coming. Oh, this guy got shot in the head. Look at that. You can see the arrow in his head. That was terrifying. And now I'm going to focus down this next unit with my archers or with my crossbows because we pretty much wiped out that first unit. So we got to take them out as quick as possible. Here they come, guys. Come on. Come on. Get a couple more volleys real quick before they actually engage. One volley. That's all I ask. There we go. We got some kills. Now he's going to form shield wall. They're going to hold back, defend this flank. And we are down to the last 7 minutes of the siege battle. And this is where, okay, so we kind of missed this, but let me explain what happened. It wasn't like super exciting or anything. What the Hungarians did was actually a pretty smart maneuver. They gave up on this fight, and we decided to push and attack them. So we kind of left our defensive position, and now the infantry is getting cut into pieces. So what I'm going to try to do here is get my halberdiers out of this fight. And thankfully, I've got some spearmen breaking and slowing down the Hungarians. So that works out. So there we go. Running my halberdiers, getting them away from there. And now the TheRyanKing is pushing forward some of his infantry. He's actually going to fall back because at this point, we realize that we have to fall back. The balance of power is so brutally close that this is anyone's game. And the halberdiers... Oh, actually, he's sending now some Pavi spearmen. He's got another unit of Pavis. And this is not a good sign. The TheRyanKing's forces are breaking. And it looks like we're going to lose this flank. I do have some cav over here ready to just slow down the infantry, buy more time. So what I'm going to do is fall back, give them more space for a charge. My crossbows are still firing. Oh, what is this? How is there Hungarian halberdiers right here? And my arrow tower just shot my own men. My own guy right there. That's very depressing. Look at the officer. Is he dueling? Look at that. Oh, that is... Oh my god. This is amazing. No, keep fighting. No. Oh, that would have been so cool. Alright, so yeah, I'm getting my cav ready for a charge. We do have more infantry coming over this way to re-support the lines, but they are already wavering, which is not great. Let's see what's going to happen here. Silesian Knights, their backs are turned on the enemy. They don't want to know how many are over there. They just want to turn around and charge. So let's see the point of view of them. Actually, we'll wait. Here we go. They're going to charge in. Charge in. Slow them down. Yes. There we go. Just buying more time for my crossbows to let loose their ammo and get some kills from afar. And it's also buying more time for these crossbows. And unfortunately, the TheRyanKing's men are breaking. They didn't even reach the front lines. And now I'm going to run my crossbows because they're just too important to lose. So I'm going to fall back to the walls. And this is where we begin our retreat to the final stand. And look at that, guys. Look at the balance of power. It is not good. This is not good at all. And I believe at this point of the battle, the TheRyanKing's general died. Unfortunately, we missed that. But I think he went for a cav charge around this area. And he was wiped out pretty quickly. But here comes some swordsmen trying to fire with my crossbows. Doing a lot of kiting over here. And Steel Dragon added me on his friends list. So that is some news there. Some breaking news. But I'm going to fall back. I've got my general still alive. You know, I'm just keeping him alive to keep the morale high. But this is not good. I do not have any infantry ready to hold this position. And this is where I have to make a deadly charge with my general. This is my only option to save my men. Here we go. Right down this hill. Downhill charge. And oh my god, I just obliterate this unit. So let's get a bird's eye view of the situation. Now I have my catapult crew ready to hold this wall. Or not this wall, but this choke point. And we took out a good amount of troops there with the general. Here comes my peasants ready to hold them back. And my general unit, he was able to survive that charge and get back to more protective positions. Alright, then I see another opportunity. I see that the Hungarians are pushing forward his crossbows. They still have some ammo, so he's got to be careful because I still have some cav. I could easily run down that hill the closer he gets. Oh, by the way, guys, let's do some slow motion real quick. You see my crossbows over here? I'm focusing down his general. He made a mistake here of sending his cav a little too close to the walls, and now my crossbows are just wiping out his general. We can see, yep, they are just falling to the ground. Not a good sight if you're rooting for the Hungarians. And yeah, there they go. They are they're shattered. They're done. They are dead. It's over for the Hungarian king. Alright, so let's go back to normal speed. This is where I see an opportunity to charge down once more. Get my general's sword wet. We're going to go for some crossbows here. Come on, charge. Yes, it looks like we're going to be way in the back of the unit at this charge. Very good charge, taking out a lot of crossbows, but we got to keep moving forward because he has gunners firing down at my general's position. So here's his point of view, firing those guns. My general is going to continue to charge to try to get to the gunners, but I was a little bit afraid of these Pavish spearmen, so I was not going to engage. I don't want to lose my general at this point because it's absolutely critical that we keep him alive. And unfortunately, I lost a lot of good men there. So come on. General unit needs to stay alive. And he's got some spearmen over here that are getting shot from the crossbows on the walls. And we are down to the last 2 minutes. The balance of power is, well, it's still pretty close, but it seems like it's now in our favor. So it's looking pretty good. As long as I still have ammo, my halberdiers who have retreated from the front position, they are now going to hold this choke point, just in case those spears go charging up. And yeah, this is pretty much what's left of the Hungarian army. So, oh, looks like my general's gonna go for another charge here. Oh, the general, he's seeking blood this day. Here we go, come on. Through the little rocks here. Gonna charge in. Oh my god, this is beautiful. Oh, yes. Okay. So a pretty good charge there, but you know, I don't want to be too careless. The battle's not over yet, and I need to get my general out of here. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward to the rest of this fight, because I believe what's going to happen here is that we're going to kind of sally out from this position and bring the fight to the Hungarians. So yeah, now the TheRyanKing's pushing down his armored infantry, getting ready. What he wants to do is try to contain the 2 units of spearmen. So let's do normal speed right here. And I'm going to go ahead and charge my general down this way and flank around the spearmen. Here we go, flanking around. A lot of burnt up buildings over here. And I'm going to go for his, yep, he's going to go for, or I'm going to go for his flank. Take out his handgunners there. So this general, he may not have been fighting the entire battle, but he got some pretty critical cav charges there. So now the, yes, the handgunners are wavering. His infantry is wavering, and this is going to be a successful defense And this was a really, really fun battle. I could not believe that we took out the Teutonic Order so quickly, but the Kingdom of Hungary was a little bit more challenging. Let's go ahead and see the results here, because I don't want this battle to be too long. My spears did pretty fantastic. I mean, 161 for a spear unit is pretty solid. My halberdiers did pretty well. They could have done a little bit better, but my crossbows doing an excellent job. 198, and look at the amount of kills that my cav got. 303 kills. Insane. My catapult's getting about 75, 82 kills, which is not crazy good. And then my general getting 126 kills, even though he was only fighting for like the last 5 minutes. If we look at the enemy forces here, it looks like his infantry, I mean, it looks like his army did well all around, except for this halberdier unit. His spears didn't do that great, but they're spearmen. This unit got 0 kills. That's pretty tragic. By the way, it's commanded by Bingo, Bango, Django. And then we have Captain Happy Muffin. Here is his stats. And then here's the TheRyanKing stats. I believe some of his, let's see, his skirmishers 104. The Javi unit were doing pretty well. His cav getting 80. Oh, 97 with his skirmishing Lithuanian cav. And 122, yeah, so his armored infantry did really well there. And his general did pretty well as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this battle, if you enjoyed this siege battle, be sure to leave a like, a comment, a share. And if you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe for more epic battles. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.